You're working really hard to build a new life. You're living differently, you're making different decisions, and people won't let you forget what it is that you're trying to leave behind you. How do you handle this? How do you deal with each situation and each person? And why do you care? Today, we're going to talk about these things. I think you're going to enjoy it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Oh, my goodness. I've been on for like 48 seconds and already I'm getting an error message. Hi, my name is Elizabeth Spraggins. I am the founder of All Joy Inspired and the owner of Digging from Darkness, Living in Light, a group of mastermind business owners and community mentors who help serve the people around them and those in need by leading by example and sharing their life experiences. Today, we've got a little bit of an interesting topic. Now, I know I normally do life skills for the general public, and I normally talk about how to get your mind right, how to settle yourself if you're not able to move forward with goals and goal setting and goal achievement. Last couple of days, I've had some interesting experiences, and I felt today's show was going to be relevant to all of you. So last week, we did a show titled Captain Savajo. This week, we're going to be talking about Imma Honomo. I've got like a whacked out sense of humor. You'll get used to it if you've been around for any length of time watching my show or aware of me as a person, Elizabeth Spraggins, and not Laura Jensen, because I've had some interactions in the last couple of days which have a lot to do with what we're going to discuss today. So yeah, Imma Honomo is an actual person. And that has to do with sex workers and entertainers in general who have begun living a different way, who feel the need to keep telling people, that's not my life anymore. That's not who I am. You're eventually going to have to accept it, or we can't have this happening anymore, because entertainers who've moved on or providers who've moved on are ready to start being recognized for their new lifestyles. And this has a lot to do with current events, because I am counseling and coaching and guiding and mentoring several sex workers of different varieties who are making a new life for themselves. And a message that I hear often is, these people keep throwing it up in my face whenever I assert that I'm living a certain way or I'm happy about something new I'm doing. They keep throwing these intimate acts that they've either experienced with me or watched me doing. They keep throwing it in my face. And we all know what I'm talking about. We all know what I'm talking about. For instance, one lovely individual is getting ready to open up, her own gym. She is such a sweet lady. Oh, she's a sweet woman. She's got a beautiful heart. She's got a very deeply rooted faith in her higher power, and she wants to be able to live publicly as a woman of faith who now physically trains people and counsels them nutritionally and does all of these amazing things. But as she is leaving her former lifestyle behind her, people will not let her forget that she was on camera in a certain way. 5 minutes ago, kid you not, 5 minutes ago, someone who is full of outrageous anger for some reason. I have no idea. I've never met this person. I've never talked to this individual. Just lashed out at me in the most explicit way. And I'm like, yo, dude, you should probably get some help for that. You should probably get some help for that, because I went to go look at this individual's general expressions on his page, and I'm like, yeah, there's something seriously wrong with you. Seriously. But this is what I'm talking about. So there are men and women that I am guiding to move forward in their lives beyond sex work, beyond being in prison, beyond having traumatic experiences that have changed them in their lives. But it does distract you from moving forward when you keep hearing these things. And today, I'm a Honomo, which means I am no longer bound to that past. And you're going to have to deal with these intermittent and random people that are going to be treating you like effing garbage, just because they feel entitled to, just because they think they can, because at some point you were a public figure, they feel comfortable hurling their most vile and disgusting darkness because you're something that they're familiar with. You know what the good news is? You don't have to take it. But today we're going to talk about how, who, what, where, and why you can be rid of this. Or, if you're smart, you can use it to your advantage. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So when we're dealing with a negative past, I kind of just went over that. I did. Before we get going, I want to give a huge happy shout out to Beardo and all of the fellas at BeardVet over at beardvet.com for the most amazing patriotic spirit. And they have love for all people. They really do, you guys. You hear me talk about them and their conservative voices. Yeah, they believe in the values that they hold dear to them, but they're good to all people. If you're a good person, you're a good person. They're not going to treat you like crap. But I love Beardo and the guys and girls over at beardvet.com because they're just decent to folks. And they have some kick-ass coffee. And that new energy drink concentrate that's out, you can put that effort in a cup with some water and some ice or a cocktail or a soda. I wouldn't recommend putting it in your coffee because your kidneys might get mad at you. Don't do that shit, yo. Don't do that. Beardo and the guys over there, love you guys. Thank you for always being awesome to me. Beardvet.com. Okay, so yeah, we kind of did go over that already. When you're dealing with negative past, the things that people are going to throw up in your face, and it's more than just sex workers, or you could be somebody who has more than one dark background in your history, and we're going to talk about it like that because nobody in this world is perfect. I don't give a flying who likes to pretend they're Mother Teresa or the Pope or some shit. Nobody in this world is perfect. So for somebody to throw stones at you because your not perfect moment was visible to them or because they have experience with it, you know what I'm saying? You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But it's hard when you know that your indiscretions or your not so proud moments are going to keep being brought up like this. And it's going to happen. And honey, you got to deal with it. But here's how. So if you've been to prison, I know a lot of people that I talk to, they've been to prison. And it's something that they're not proud of. And they're ashamed of it. And they don't want people talking about it. You talk about it. And the second you make it a part of your story, where's the insult from them throwing it in your face? Just kind of like, duh. I say it all the time. Yeah, I went to prison. I mean, not me personally, but I know people who have gone to prison. Ian Smith, Weldon Long, among many others who have gotten into trouble with the law, did their time, came out, and then made millions of dollars and gave back to society. They contribute. Just because you went to prison doesn't mean that's the end of your ability to be a part of society. A lot of people want you to believe that. A lot of people want to look at you and call you a dirtbag because you made some choices which maybe they haven't made. Or sex work. Yeah, sex work. Yes. Being on camera, being on stage, being in person in one way or another. A lot of people want to call you a scumbag. They want to call you dirtballs. Do you think you're a dirtball? I'm not a dirtball. I'm a good person. I have a huge, huge service that I contribute to the community. I have a corporation that is now founded in helping people who need help. I'm not a scumbag. I'm a good woman. I have a devout faith in Christ. Yeah, I was nude on camera. I did all kinds of really crazy shit on camera. But am I a scumbag? No. No. Somebody calls you something because of the work that you've done before or the work that you're trying to leave behind you, and it makes you feel bad. Ask yourself why it makes you feel bad. Do you believe what it is that they're saying? Or do you just generally have a rotten reputation? Or, and here's one that I added today just because of current events. Oh, y'all gonna love this. You're gonna love this. Have you had a change of heart about social justice conversations? Yeah. Switching sides of the road is going to get you attacked by the people you're leaving behind. And I know there are some of you out there who are having a change of heart after figuring a few things out. And now all of those people who were rah, rah, rah behind you while y'all were making a big mobby mess. Once you step out of that, hey, let's cause all of this hysteria. Once you figure it out that that's kind of not what you believe anymore, you watch those people turn on you. This show is for you too. Cool. All right. We are moving on because life is awesome and we love what we do. You're building a new life, you're living differently, and people just aren't letting it go. Understanding what your past has to do with your now and your future is going to help you deal with the people that are giving you a hard time. Let's talk about this. Let's put that video on before I introduce the last section. So you guys are going to get 2 videos. There you go. Here we are. In order to determine what to do about the negative things that are being said to you or about you, we need to determine where those things are being said. There are different platforms and different gatherings of people that can affect you in a unique way. So let's figure out which one of those is most important to you. I learned something new today. Yo, okay. I learned that if I put my headphones in, the sound is clearer. And now that I'm wearing my headphones and I'm listening to these videos, these segment videos, I'm like, holy crap, man, that's like super loud. And I thought when I was doing the engineering of the sound in the videos as I was creating them, I thought that a certain level of sound was actually working. And now I'm hearing it in my headphones. And I'm like, man, I messed that up. I totally messed that up. We learn as we go, right? We learn as we go. So next week, your videos are going to sound way better. It is what it is. So the reason we want to know why or where the source of the negativity is coming from is because some of these sources don't matter. You know, if they're coming from social media, if they're coming from your family and friends or the legal system, or maybe your church, your synagogue, your mosque, whatever it is that you believe in, different sources or different locations of this vitriol, of this anger, of this outrage. I hate you for not standing in the mob. I hate you because at one point you used to sell sex for a living, or you were in prison a year ago, 15 years ago, 30 years ago. Sometimes the sources of these hatred can still be a distraction to you, but do they really matter? Hearing it can be upsetting to you, but is that individual or group of people who's giving you a hard time about your past, are they going to affect your ability to succeed in the future? Are these people that are hurling this nastiness at you, are they going to stop you from making a living? Now, there are different answers to that depending on what it is you're doing now for a living, or if you haven't transitioned yet. We are going to move a little bit faster here. But our next question is, why do you care? Oh, but before we go forward, we're going to say hi to Matt Couch. faithandfreedoms.com, owned and operated by Patriot conservative speaker Matt Couch, with a bunch of fun and upbeat apparel to suit all of your inspirational and patriotic needs. faithandfreedoms.com. Oh, holy shit, right? That was super loud. I'm totally going to have that fixed by the next time. All right, here, we're moving forward. All right. Why are you making yourself crazy caring about the opinions of people who don't matter to you? These people are not going to affect your business, your home life, your marriage, your friends. If their opinion doesn't matter, why do you care? And there it is. See, I could hear it. It's in my ear now. It's so loud. Okay. Why do you care? I mean, this is going to probably be a really fast show because I'm covering all the show without even looking at my notes. So, or do you need the approval of these people who are being really gritty with you for professional reasons? Do you need them so you can get along at work or so you don't get in trouble at work? Are you trying to get promoted and you really don't want people talking about this anymore, this being your past? Or do you need people to not be giving you a hard time to protect the sales of your new product or service? Now, you don't need to be D-bags about it, but let's just say you're in sex work and you now own a merchandise store. You come out with your own line of luxury bath products or something like that. But people aren't taking you seriously because of what you used to do for a living. Or maybe you were a porn star and you want to open a gym. You want to counsel people on nutrition or mentor folks on how to do weight loss. But the people who don't want to pay you and want your services for free are going to throw your past up in your face. Do you really need that person's approval to keep selling your nutritional products or your fitness training? No, you don't. Or maybe you are listening to this hatred because you have a few harmed or injured relationships that you want to repair. So you're trying to figure out whether or not you want to keep this relationship as a part of your life. You have a few friends who you don't really hang out with anymore because you're living a different lifestyle and they are still okay and even enjoying the lifestyle that you no longer live. Doesn't mean you have to hate each other. But if you're hearing them make snide and nasty, hateful comments, you might be more willing to kind of float that relationship to see if it's going to get abusive, or maybe even try to talk it out with them. Because there are strangers, there are family members, there are coworkers, and then there are loved ones and friends. So if a loved one and a friend throws some crappy comment at you because you have a disagreement, or maybe they don't get one over on you, I'm thinking that might be just a hair bit more forgivable than somebody you don't know. If you don't know me and you're going to come at me like that, fuck you. I mean, what do I lose if you go away, right? It should be the same attitude for you. But friends and family are definitely different. Or do you need to avoid these negative confrontations for legal reasons? Are you repairing your legal health? I don't know what other way to say that. But if you are leaving legal troubles or a criminal history in the background, you don't want to be getting into trouble again. So different people saying different things require different reactions. Okay, we are moving on. Yo, where are we at? Shit, I'm a little lost right now. It's hot. I have to turn the air off so the microphone doesn't pick up the, pain in the ass. All right. Instead of making yourself crazy about people's opinions who don't matter, whose opinion does not matter? It is important for you to figure it out, to actually set this in stone to yourself. Whose opinion do you not give a damn about? Right. Before we go into whose opinion doesn't matter, whose opinion does matter? Now, when you are navigating this mob, and it feels like a mob sometimes, but most of the time it's just a couple of people. But when you're getting it from all angles, even if it's just a handful of people, you gotta step back and tell yourself, who is most important to me? Whose opinion do I actually care about? For me, just as an example, it's God, the law, my family, my husband, and myself. If you're not God, and you're not on the list. If you're not my husband, and you're not on that list. The law, well, I'm not trying to piss them off. So as long as they leave me alone and I'm doing okay, we're cool. We're cool. I'm not breaking any laws. My family, give or take. I'm talking about my kids. I care what my kids think to a certain degree. I mean, to a certain degree, but I care what they think more than others, and myself. I absolutely care what I think of myself. So if you're a friend or a stranger or a colleague and you're giving me shit for something I used to do, chances are I'm going to keep walking forward and you're not going to be next to me. Whose opinion is most important to you? If you have a faith in something, whether it be soul embodiment or nature or Jesus Christ or Buddha or Allah or whoever, your higher power is your number one. Your spouse, if you have one, is your number two. Sounds kind of crappy to say that, but my earthly number one is my husband. My overall number one is my faith in God and my faith in Jesus. And then, of course, you got the law and your family and then yourself. Who doesn't fit there? Who's not a part of that equation? Chances are it's that asshole on Facebook or that D-bod on Twitter, saying nasty things to you because you won't give him free shit. Right? Right. Okay, now whose opinion doesn't matter. Anyone who encourages you or celebrates your former lifestyle. Think about that for a second. Do you have somebody in your life who tells glory stories, about the days when you were living a certain way that got you in trouble? Maybe you're recovering from addiction, right? And you have a certain friend that likes to tell you were way cooler when you were drinking or doing drugs. For real? Yeah. Okay. Or maybe you just got out of prison. Or maybe you were in prison a time ago and you have people that are saying you were so much more fun when you were, drunk driving, or when you were, more of a risk taker. Like when you would get more wild. You're so boring now. Yeah. Well, I've been to prison and I don't really want to go back, man. So you can take that version of me and you can let that keep you company because I'm perfectly happy like this. I'm perfectly happy with my fantastic, stable, boring life. Or maybe you were an escort or a porn star and that's no longer a part of your life. And you're now doing something that you're super proud of. And people keep telling you, you'll never be anything but a whore. For real? That's not true. Because right now, I'm actually doing wonderful things for people who need help. Or maybe you're trying to, yeah. Anyone whose opinion conflicts with your values. So you've done all the hard work to create a new life for yourself. And you are moving forward and you are stressed and sacrificing and bleeding guts and tears. And you're proud of who you've become. Anybody who can't stand next to you or stand in front of you and encourage you and lead you to where you need to go with their appreciation and celebration of you, fuck them. Fuck them. Leave them behind you, girl or guy. Because there are men and women who are building new lives for themselves. Fuck them. You owe no one an explanation. You don't have to say you're sorry for living differently. And for every one of those people that wants to reach out to you and ruin your day with their crappy comments or their personal attacks, because you found peace. You've found peace in your life and you've come to terms with what you used to be, leading you to where you are now. And you are going to have to deal with these people. Okay. Our next segment is what to do if you are confronted by one of these people. But before we do that, beardvet.com, owned and operated by veterans. Your source for some kick-ass coffee, some fun apparel, and lots of other things to check out. Be sure to head to beardvet.com. Great. So what do you do if you're confronted about your past? Well, there are different ways that you could possibly be confronted about it. Somebody might genuinely be curious. Somebody might just want to have a conversation with you because this part of your life is not something that you share. So if it's a friend or a family member who wants to ask you questions, not because they want to make fun of you, but because they want to know you better. In that situation, depending on how much you trust the individual, maybe have a conversation. Talk to them about it. If you feel like they're genuinely curious, talk about it as a part of your past. Be open to it, because the more you can talk about something, the less it controls you, the less it shames you. So if you are able to discuss that part of your past with someone, do so. Talk about it. And then talk about how it was a stepping stone for you growing as a human being and being who you are now. You don't owe any excuses. You don't have to justify what you've done. You don't need to rationalize it by adding reasons that it happened. Just talk about it and be honest. Be honest, because you talking about it with another person helps pull the damage out of you that is seated inside of your heart, in your spirit. So if you're lucky enough for someone to genuinely be curious in a not hostile way, do it. Talk to them about it. Keep it as brief as your comfort will let you, or, get into it in depth as much as your comfort will let you. Snide remarks and comments. I need to talk about you, Hey, we need to have a discussion because it's a daily part of my life. Now, you got to understand, I am a highly visible public figure. No, I'm not sitting in the Oval Office, although, fine. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not a public official. But I am a highly visible individual, and all of this shit that I've done on camera is forever recorded and available. So it's never going away. I get snide, hateful, nasty comments every day. And yeah, I've grown a thick skin for the most part. But I get it every day. So if somebody's just making like a fly-by hit and run nasty comment to you, for whatever reason, for whatever subject matter that may be about, because we all come from different backgrounds and we're all creating new lifestyles for different reasons. And we want to get rid of this distraction. We want to get rid of its effect on you. I should say that. We want to get rid of its effect on you. So here's what you do. You can ignore it. Oh, man. Yeah, I know. That's not fun. I love to argue. Don't get me wrong. I'm the first person to look somebody right in the eye and dare them. I just dare them, because I used to argue with my family for a loaf of bread at the dinner table, and it was a blast. And whoever won the argument got dessert. Families full of lawyers and all kinds of individuals who use conversation to make a living. I am a champion at debate, so I love it. I welcome the opportunity. No longer engage with the individual. You can choose to ignore the comment and then just choose to turn your back on them, depending on the relationship you have with the individual. If it's a stranger on social media, to hell with them. Why? If this person's only desire to interact with you is to be rude or horrible because of something that's no longer a part of your life, is that person going to become a customer or, a member of your business or your website? Chances are no. Anybody who's willing to throw hate at you like that for something that you no longer do, or for something that's not a part of your life anymore, they're not going to support your business venture. The hell with them. Block them. Leave them alone. Block the account, block the phone number. If there's someone in your personal life, like some D-head friend who decides that your progress in life reminds them of how shitty of a person they are, block the phone number, get rid of them. Baby, you're losing nothing. You are losing nothing. All out personal attacks / PR campaigns. This is especially important if your new stage in life and your new mission goes against something that somebody else does for a living. Now, here's what I mean. My company helps provide education and support and mentorship for sex workers who no longer want to do sex work, for a variety of reasons. How I have marketed my business and my services has been very carefully decided, because there are people in the sex work industry who haven't yet decided that they're done with the work yet. Some are still perfectly cool with the work, and some will always be okay with the work. But my company isn't set up to need to shit on them in order to help the people who now want a new direction, or people who are kind of thinking about it. Now, there is a life coach out there, and I honestly never took the time to learn her name. I have seen her company profile. I have seen her social media profile. She does nothing but shit on sex workers. She bashes them. She bashes the work. She bashes the people. And I'm like, yeah, woman, that's not how this works. That's not how this works. She's alienating a future customer base by treating all of these people like garbage. It's not the person you disagree with. It is the act. If you have an issue with the act, have an issue with the act, not the person. If you're careful and your business provides an out for a solution that somebody else is selling, be very careful about that. However, on the flip side of that, if that other business, even while you're careful about directing your marketing a certain way, if they just want to take you out because you're a threat, and some of you and your new lifestyles and your new businesses will be a threat, especially if your business is spiritually based, I got to tell you, I got real tired of hiding the fact that I have love for Jesus Christ in my heart. I got real tired of hiding it because it sounds hypocritical for somebody to sell sex for a living and have a faith in Christ. It almost sounds disrespectful to the faith to say that while still doing the work. There are so many Christians and so many devout people of the Jewish faith and of the Arab faith and the Buddhist faith. So many. And they don't feel like they should or are allowed to live in their faith and have a relationship with their faith because they do sex work. It's so sad. But now that I don't do sex work anymore, I can tell you I have the most beautiful love for Jesus Christ in my heart. And it has brought me such happiness. Such happiness. So if somebody wants to come at you and try to assassinate your character by launching this crazy social media campaign against you, what can you do? It's a pretty serious situation because they're not just coming after you, they're coming after your business and your way of life, hoping that your business will fail so you have to get back to that crappy thing that you no longer want to do, right? Yeah, it's a very real thing. I've seen this happen. I've seen people do this. I've seen sex workers and entertainers start new businesses and be full of hope. And because they didn't have the right encouraging support, they went right back to sex work when the business failed for one reason or another. But I've seen people launch PR campaigns. I've seen it. I've had them done against me. I'm still here. And there are others like me who faced these PR campaigns, looked them right in the eye. Is that all you got? Huh? Is that all you got? You're terrible at this. You're terrible at this because I'm still standing. What? So if you're out there and you're seeing this show and you've started a business, you were or are an entertainer and you've started a business and it's not going quite right for whatever reason, contact me at All Joy Inspired. I'm more than happy to help you. I'm more than happy to connect you to people who can help you. If I'm not the right person, for you to be mentored by, there are so many others. There's so many others. You're not stuck. If you have that business in your heart and it makes you happy, makes you feel good about yourself, you can pick it up again. All is not lost. All right. So what do you do when somebody launches that PR, attack against you? It's getting bad. It's getting bad. And in particular, I watched this happen to Sterling Cooper. Sterling Cooper, he ruffled some feathers. He ruffled a lot of feathers, but it wasn't necessarily because he said something outrageous or terrible. He spoke his truth. And at the time, this whole mob mentality of if you don't think like me, you're part of the problem. And all he was saying was, I believe this means this. And he caught hell for it. And it seemed to me like a huge portion of the adult industry attacked him. And we actually did an interview a few months ago and we laughed about that attack because for every person that had to tweet and comment and launch this vitriol at him, he was making money because somebody else was looking into his business. So here's what I say. If this is you and you're under attack, even if you're not in the adult industry, but if you're under attack, public attack, address it one time. One time. Because if you get into an argument You look weak. Like these people have the ability to draw your emotion and draw your attention and your energy into this thing that they're doing. And when you're a business owner, you want to be taken seriously. You don't want your emotion to run your operations or your decisions. Address it one time, address it thoroughly and without emotion. Do not bow down to bullies. When you run a company, you're nobody's bitch. You're not there to make them feel better about you. And you're thinking, yeah, Elizabeth, what about the customers who have a problem with me? They're not the right customer for you. If you constantly have to apologize or adjust who you are to bow down to people, they're not your customer base. Bud Light, perfect example. They tried to appease to the masses who were bullying them into deviating from their customer base. What happened? What was the result of that stupid ass decision? Yeah. Think about that. Do you want to be the Bud Light? Do you want to have an established customer base or a customer base waiting because they feel connected to you, only for you to want to do what this mob of a-holes wants you to do? You're going to lose all that opportunity. As a business owner, stay true to what you are. Live honestly in your opinion and your values and your preferences. Don't worry about those other people. Let them go find somebody else to torture and tank with their stink. You don't need that. And neither does your business or your future. Block every single person, every one of them. If you're under a public attack, look to see who's joining in that public attack. Make your statement one time. One time. Stay true to your values. Stay true to your brand. And then if you are still coming under attack, that's on them. They're missing an opportunity to know you, to know your brand, to know your business. And it might take you a while, depending on how bad it is, to get rid of every one of them. But just make it a purpose. Keep emotion out of business. Keep your emotion out of it. You are an operations manager. You are a facilitator. If you draw emotion into your decisions, you're going to make mistakes. And that's not something you need to do as a successful future. Okay. Ooh, you guys, we're doing so good. We're almost there. Today's going by so fast. We're going to have lots of time for Q&A. One of the most effective ways you can get people to stop talking bad about you is to give them something new to know about you. Sharing new experiences and new memories will make these memories something they'll want to talk about or things that are the most current. This is the easiest way to get people off your back. Right. So after you get rid of the fungus, after you get rid of, the parasites that are only in your life because they want to dump their negativity and their hate on you. I'm an expert in that, by the way. I'm an expert in disposing of all of that nastiness. It's become a way of life for me. And when you become good at that, it's not going to bother you as much. So then what do? If there's some that can still be saved, if there's some that are just kind of throwing darts, but not really to hurt you, they just see you as a target, you can turn some of those people into friends or colleagues or even customers. Give them something new to talk about. Maybe share new experiences about your faith. If you love God, if you love spiritual embodiment, if you're into voodoo, whatever that thing was that people are talking bad about you and throwing it at you, give them something new to think about. Did you just learn about going to church? I mean, my God, right? So I kind of went through this thing where I didn't really know how to talk to God. I didn't know how to pray. I just figured it was just like talking out loud. I didn't know. I always thought there was something so formal to it and I didn't do it right. But I picked up this book, and as I'm growing to learn what being a Christian means, I'm reading things and they make my heart happy. They make my day beautiful for me. So I'm sharing bits and pieces of that with my family and friends. I'm showing them something that really brings some positivity into my day. And wouldn't you know it, that's something awesome to share with people. So that's something that someone can say about you that doesn't involve being a dirtbag on camera, or maybe you went to jail for getting a DUI or some shit. Give people something new to think about. Perhaps, maybe you're learning to exercise for the first time in a long time. You're on a weight loss journey. You're learning to lift weights again. You are learning about keto diet or learning about what vegetables make you feel the best. I mean, my God, this is so easy, and people lose sight of this because they get so overwhelmed with the hate that circulates because of their past. And that hate that circulates keeps people from seeing all of the amazing things in their future. I'm telling you guys, once you get rid of that nasty shit that circulates and all of those vitriol people, these evil, angry people, get rid of them. And then you'll make room for all of those wonderful folks who are so happy for you and are going to celebrate with you and going to ask you questions and show interest and maybe give you some ideas about where your business could take a step up or something that you might not be thinking of. Getting rid of all that hate, getting rid of it is going to make room for the awesome in your life. And if you want to invite people into your life and you want to draw in all of those positive influences, you could do it with some humor. If you can make somebody laugh, you can give them the interest to want to know just a little bit more about you or want to spend a little bit more time with you. If you can make somebody laugh when they're having a bad day, they will seek you out the next time they're having something, pretty not okay happening. If you can make somebody laugh when they're devastated about something, you will be the first person they think of. And this is all super important for you. If you're trying to gather a new circle of friends, if you're trying to surround yourself with people who appreciate you for who you are right now, right? Okay. Share your values. Share your values. And no, it's not that easy on some of these platforms. Because not all free speech is free speech. That's fine. That's fine. I'm still American. I'm okay with myself. I don't give a shit if you like me. Because I know there's somebody out there just like me who hasn't figured it out yet. I'm talking to that person, to that guy or that girl who feels exactly the same way. I don't need everyone to like me. I need the person who understands me to want more information from me, because that's the person I can help. If you're just here because you want to hate me, well, I can't help you, buddy. I can't help you. So if you're out there and some of this is connecting with you, I can help you. I can help you figure out the next step or the journey altogether. That's what coaches do. We're weird individuals. I'm a weird person, but you know what? It works. All right. Share content about your humanity, your kindness, the love in your heart, or the love for the world or the people around you. If this is on social media, I'm loving this music, by the way. If you're on social media and you're on social media because you have to market and grow your business, and your previous lifestyle was also on that social media, what you want to do is you want to dial that any acknowledgement to that previous lifestyle back. I'm going to be very specific here. And you may not have been in the adult industry. You may have a new lifestyle being created for a different reason. But this is something I can understand enough to explain it to you. Over the last year specifically, I was decreasing the amount of adult industry posts and increasing the amount of posts that included humor, that shared opinions of others that I agreed with, that shared casual posts or jokes, or for whatever reason, introduced a product or a service that I thought was interesting. If you have been paying attention to me for the last 2 or 3 years, you will see a drastic change in my social media. If you are trying to create a new public image, it is possible for that to happen. You can do it right away and do what they call take a bath. When you take a bath in something, you just get it over with. You're going to get all of that hate and you're just going to get it over with. Or if you kind of want these people to stick around to see what your new business is about, you're going to ease them into the idea first by introducing it one post a day or one post every 2 days about this idea you're having. And then you're going to slowly back off the one lifestyle while introducing slowly another lifestyle. I can help you do all of this. Get a hold of me. Elizabeth Spraggins at alljoyinspired.com. I can help you with this. All right. Here are things you want to avoid. Number one mistake people make on social media. And I have been telling new stars and starlets this from day one. Don't ever get into a fight with someone on social media. Don't do it. It makes you look like an asshole. It makes you look like somebody who's not in control of your emotions. It makes you look weak. It doesn't matter if they're right or if they're wrong. The way you handle confrontation in public speaks about you. It talks about your brand, and it talks about how you're going to treat customers who have a conflict with you. Never, ever, ever get into an emotional argument with somebody online. A debate is one thing, an argument is another. A debate is an exchange of ideas. An argument is a back and forth of personal attacks. Don't do that. Just don't do it. Especially if you're trying to rebrand yourself. Don't get into, a he said, she said, posting text messages and conversations with other people. Just don't do it. What is that going to do for you? What positivity is going to come out of that? Nothing. And anybody who does it looks like an asshole. You look like an asshole. You look like an immature, individual not in control of yourself. I have zero respect for anybody who does that. And I've had people who are no longer in my life who go attention seeking by having arguments or putting their personal dirty laundry on their professional pages. Who the fuck does that? Who does that? Don't do that. As a matter of fact, keep most of your personal life off of social media. Unless, the social media and the people on there are just family and friends. But if you've got colleagues or customers on your page, keep your personal life out of it. They don't need to know that you had an argument with your husband about picking up his dirty laundry. Or that your girlfriend was seen, canoodling with your best friend. It makes you look weak. It makes your business look weak. Your customers are going to see that, and they're going to think that you're more concerned about these private matters, which you should be able to handle without asking for public support. What does that make you look like? Don't do that. Number one gripe with people online. Don't put your personal shit out there. Bandwagons. Ugh. You know what a bandwagon is? Think about that for a second. Yeah, I did it. Bandwagon. There's a public opinion that's pretty strong about a certain subject. We don't even need to go into one of them because there are so many to choose from these days. A few people who are in an area of interest that you're going into, either as a business or as a customer. A few people feel very strongly a certain way about something. And in order to accept you as one of them, they require you to announce to the public that you feel the same way. Are you willing to compromise your values as a person and as a business so those people might be a part of your future? Well, I'll tell you what happens if you do that. When you start giving into social pressure, instead of standing true to what you are, instead of saying, no, I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all. And I think you're all liars, and I think you're all crazy for going along with this narrative. It could be about anything. But the second you either keep quiet about it, disagreeing politely, or going all out and saying, y'all are nuts. But saying, no, I don't believe that. And then leaving it at that. Even if you don't do that and you stay silent about what your values are, you become a target. You will always be a target because then those people know that your values are for sale. that they're for sale for either social approval or for money. And that means you can be bought. Think Bud Light. Yeah, I said it. Stay away from bandwagons. Just stop giving your attention to people who want nothing to do but just to upset you because you're somebody who's visible and they just want to shit on you. Stop talking to these people. Make room for good folks. Make room for people who are going to add to your life, not take away from it. Okay, here we are. We are getting ready to go to the, oh, no, we got one more video. Okay, we got to pay some bills, yo. alljoyinspired.store. We have a bunch of fun things, either make you laugh or reconnect you to your faith or your belief in humanity. So check out the store, find something fun for you or a loved one, and perk up your day. Military and first responder discounts apply, especially for family members. All Joy Inspired. Yo! Okay, here we are. All right, I turned it down. The majority of the show is over. And just one little secret about me, I do have attention deficit disorder that I manage every day. It's unmedicated, but I manage it with behavioral techniques. And one of my behavioral techniques is to have background music because it gives me a tempo to stay on track. It does something with my head. I don't know necessarily how to explain it, but that's why I need and I enjoy music in my background. So now that we're doing questions and answers, okay, let's say hi to everybody. Oh my goodness. Well, hello, Alpha. You're a new face. Thank you for coming today. Oh, snap, it's Jamal. Hi, Jamal, my brother from another mother. How's it going up there in North Philly? Hello, Facebook user. Hi, Alan. Says, do you think that people are just trying to control you by giving their opinions about you? Another person's opinion about me is not my business. And I'm not feeling any type of way about answering this question. But why would someone want to give me a negative opinion about me? What's the purpose of doing that? If they genuinely thought I was a distasteful person and didn't want to be around me, they wouldn't need to tell me. They would just go on about their way. Someone being nasty and hateful to me is doing that to elicit a reaction for one reason or another. Either they want to feel important at my expense or they want me to argue with them. And I have no desire to do either of those things. So if you've got a shitty opinion about me, keep it to yourself because I'm not going to give you what you want. Not you, Alan, but that's what I'm saying. Right. Okay. Colorado versus business owners. Yo, Jim Brown, you are hitting the nail on the head. And I know exactly what you're talking about over there. Hi, John Brown. What does not affect me does not bother me. That is the gold star for the day. I'm going to put a star on that. I don't know what that means, but yeah, I'm going to put a star on that. Okay. I wonder if that'll keep your comment up on the screen. No, it doesn't. Okay. John Brown, you are my hero. You get the gold star of the day. What does not affect me does not bother me. You have so much of my respect. Genuine LOL at that. Yo. Thank you, Facebook user. People's opinions don't matter. Only the people I love matter. And the reflection in the mirror. Yes. Yes, I don't know who you are because you didn't give StreamYard permission to use your name, but absolutely. You are on point. Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Saturday, July 29th. My name is Elizabeth. Oh, John Brown came back. Hey, John Brown. Hi. Today I'm a little fired up. I'm a little fired up today because I've had an interesting day. I've had a very interesting day today, and I'm not even going to bore you with all the details of that because it doesn't matter. It's not going to affect your life. But it is Saturday, July 29th, 2023. I am alive, I am well, and so are you. No matter what is happening in your life, you are alive, which means you are able to make a change. My name is Elizabeth Spraggins. Please don't drink and drive, y'all. Be safe, and I will see you next week.